Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
You are now meeting the Grand Master.
Can you not stand?
Hey guys, this is James with This Beautiful Crazy Life. Welcome to the channel. For those who are new to this channel is where we discuss theology, politics, do cultural media review, and everything in between as I try to give you my perspective and a Christian perspective and explore the complex world that we have. And today we're doing a special video, and this is about the pink-haired, fiery Trump prophetess herself, Kat Kerr. Kat Kerr is, how I would say, a parody of what an atheist believes Christians believe. That's the only way to describe her. She is a self-proclaimed prophet who has made some interesting predictions and have teachings that are, in fact, heretical. Kat Kerr says she's been to heaven. Actually, she goes to heaven regularly, can see the spiritual realm herself. She has angels who live in her office with her. She has an army of angels. She has God visit her regularly in her room after being hours of sleep deprived, which might explain why she's seeing God come to her room, but I digress. It's hard to say how big this hyper charismatic Christian movement is. People who buy into these sort of like secret knowledge and prophecies and praying to stop natural disasters.
Something that needs to be dealt with. There are fires burning out of control in California, and I don't like it, and neither does God. But He put us here as the body of Christ to take authority and dominion, not to hide. First of all, you declare against it, because our authority is over the spiritual realm, all of the demonic that are operating on this earth in any way whatsoever. If you are a born-again believer, Jesus gave us authority.
All these people who believe in this stuff is pretty small in the larger worldwide church, which has 2 billion people. And while there is a supernatural aspect of my faith that I cannot deny, even the most intellectual Christians will tell you that, what Kat Kerr is teaching is so outside orthodoxy. It is a parody. She's literally a parody of herself. And I want to discuss her because even though she may only have like 100,000 followers, which for me is way too much, I think she needs to be discredited. Using some clips of her, and hopefully I do not get sued. She copyrights all of her stuff, but I think I will be I'm pretty sure I am not breaking any copyright laws or copyright rules within YouTube. So hopefully I won't have to take this video down or face legal action. But this is simply a intellectual discovering of who Kat Kerr is and what she believes. And that's all I'm using these clips for, just to make it clear. First, let's start with who exactly Kat Kerr is. This is sort of the hard part, was trying to find background information about her. I don't think she ever went to any type of seminary or Christian college or even college at all. Not really clear. As far as I can tell, I can't figure out if she belongs to any type of church denomination, and I don't know what local church she goes to. Does, which is go on tours and writes books about how she's been to heaven, is not under a ministry. It's under a business. She owns a for-profit business is what her website says, which is really confusing, right? Like, people were so unsure about the wording from her website and Facebook page. Her own followers were like, wait, is this her real page? And it definitely is. It's all her websites and her social media say she is for-profit because she believes that the business place will reach the gospel more than the church can.
You don't need a preacher in the White House. You need a businessman in the White House. My father is in business. That's why I had to be about his business. I am his CEO in heaven. I know how important it is. Business will take the gospel further than the church ever could. The marketplace will touch this world with things from
So Kat Kerr is a businesswoman / prophet who has no accountability, and far as I know, has not been any type of seminary training. I've never been to any type of Christian college or have any type of certificates, and I've done ministry for about 3 to 4 years, somewhere there. But I've always belonged to a local church body, and I've always had people who were, watching what I was doing and holding me accountable. That's one thing Kat Kerr doesn't have. And to me, that is a sign of someone you probably shouldn't follow who does Christian ministry, even though she calls it a business. So we're going to break this down to 3 parts. I'm going to discuss the politics of Kat Kerr, her heaven reveals, and her wacky theology. And then I'm going to wrap this up and explain why I think people like Kat Kerr. Part 1. Let's start with her politics. This woman knows absolutely nothing about politics. She talks about it a lot because she is a hardcore patriot who loves America a lot. She says that she is always been patriotic. She wears the American flag in a lot of her clothes all the time. So, and nothing wrong with patriotism. But the problem I have is that she's literally misinforming people. Let's watch this clip here.
That is law now. If they say something, if they make a law that is literally against our Constitution, we actually don't legally have to abide by any of it. But things they're not understanding is there's some situations where even Congress, believe it or not, don't want what he is proposing. And he just thought he could write a law and make the law, and they've been reminding him, you can't do that. This has to be approved. It has to go through a process. And some of the process has to go through the governors. So guess what, people? The governors who like life, who want their states to be set free, they're point blank telling them up there in D.C., we're going to open up. We don't care what you say. The governors actually have a say, quite a say, over what happens in their state. So those who want freedom and liberty are taking it. They're telling the people to ditch the masks, no more mask mandates. Everyone's going back to work, because some actually haven't done that yet. We're going back to life like we had before. We're going to have a real life, and they're not going to allow, guess what? They're not defunding the police. Now that man sitting up there can say all he wants to, that he wants to defund them. He can't do that. The governors decide in their states if they want to or not. So the majority of the governors are for life, they're for hope, they're for freedom, and they want it. You don't know this, people. The UK themselves said, we're not doing the virus thing anymore. We're not doing it. We're done with it. Okay, we're going to treat it like the flu. But people are going to go back to work because they don't want to lose their country. And I guess it's something they didn't think about. The person with the B name who is sitting behind the barbed wire, they thought they could control the whole world. And if you didn't know that, that's their goal, not just to get America. They can't control the leaders of other countries.
I literally have no idea where she's getting this information from. She's just saying things, right? To her, Biden's evil. He's demonic possessed or something. Demons have taken over this current administration, according to Kat Kerr, and that he's trying to pass all these unjust laws. I wonder, she never lists the evil laws she's trying to pass. I mean, we know he did this. I guess she's is she talking about the executive orders? I don't know. Who knows? Is it evil that, I don't know, he doesn't want oil companies to drill in the ocean? Maybe. I don't think that's a Christian position to have on either one, but it's very interesting that she says all these things, that governors are resisting him, or that the UK has decided that the virus is over, even though they were in a lockdown again not too long ago. She sorts nothing, she cites nothing, and then she says things like back in January, just not to believe the mainstream media or any media source because she knows the truth. And that's one of the problems with her politics. She's extremely not informed, and if she is informed, she's misleading people so she can say things like Biden tried to defund the police, but he wasn't able to, with no proof at all. Part 2. Her weird things about heaven. Heaven is not described in great detail. What happens to you after you die is not described in great detail. It's just not. If you take this book seriously, if you believe that it is the inspired word of God, you would know that God doesn't talk about things about there being T-Rexes in heaven. right? That you would know that there's nothing referenced about a Christmas town in heaven.
I know where my brother's mansion is. It is in Christmas Town.
Wow. Have you seen it? Have you been inside?
I have seen the outside of it, and I know that because of his love for that, and I know for sure he is working with Nick, St. Nick. That's why he was there. He was there to greet him.
Absolute insanity. Let's talk about some of her wacky theology. Part 3. I didn't know what to discuss first in this section because it's so absurd, right? One of the things, though, is this clip here. I mean, if I was an atheist writing a skit about how to make fun of Christians, I would say this here.
I created it to stand with my people in Israel. For America is a friend of Israel. I hid America in their name. J-E-R-U-S-A-L-E-M. If you want to know where America is in the Bible, it's in the name of Jerusalem.
She legit said that the United States of America is the USA because those letters are in the word Jerusalem in English, that was God revealing to his people that America was going to exist. That's not how the Bible works. Why does someone follow Kat Kerr? And I think there's a few reasons why. One of the reasons why I think is that, well, people like this idea of, having secret knowledge revealed. They like this idea that there's this world out there and there's an actual hidden truth, and that's really attractive to people. The other part is a lot of Christians in these movements don't actually read this. They just don't. They don't have they don't understand what the Bible is. They don't understand the Bible. And when they're taught these things, it's kind of cool to know that God's still speaking to someone and revealing all these new truths. And that this thing is great to quote, but it's, like God's still speaking. Like people really like that. I think that's one reason a lot of cults start, because there's something very compelling about knowing the creator of the universe is just showing new things to someone constantly, and you get to be part of the end group in there. The other thing is like politics. I think a lot of people may like Kat Kerr's politics. If you're a huge Trump supporter and you're super conservative and liberals are probably the worst thing ever besides Satan himself, that is extremely attractive, so I think that's part of it as well. But I think the main part is this idea of comfort that may come from Kat Kerr. I mean, if you think about it, the idea of death is very scary. The world's a scary place. Humanity is scary. This whole idea that when you die, you get to know exactly what heaven's going to be like. You're going to get a welcome party. You're going to get your own mansion. There's going to be things like Christmas Town. You're going to see all your friends and family, and you're going to be 20-something years old in this new body of yours. And you might be someone who's experiencing illness or sickness or just getting older. And maybe that 20s have a very comforting time for you. All those things, I think, play in a factor. The other part is just knowing how crazy the world is, to know that the person you like the most, President Trump, is about to be back in office, and that the evil Joe Biden's about to be done away with, that you can stop earthquakes and forest fires and hurricanes with prayer. When a world that is just completely hard to understand, Kat Kerr offers simple answers. So to all the people who just came to watch this video to make fun of Kat Kerr or laugh or whatever it is, that's not what this is for. And while I did put some jokes in here, this video really is just to show that this movement is growing because of the internet. And if we're not aware of it now, it may take more people who think that this is actual Christian teaching. So let's be aware, let's confront it, and let's be loving and get people who are into this out of this stuff. Anyway, guys, this is James with This Beautiful Crazy Life. Thanks for watching.